Well, Houston County District Attorney Russ Goodman plans to seek the death penalty in last week's murder of a Dothan businessman. Police say a passenger shot Blake Bowen while he was driving along Ross Clark Circle, and Bowen died in what police call a robbery attempt. Michael Taylor is charged with capital murder. Goodman told News 4 this afternoon that if a jury convicts Taylor of that crime, he will ask jurors to impose the death penalty. Taylor is being held without bond.